fancy stats than at any point in our lives when it comes to the great game of baseball. I've got one factor that'll never, ever be able to be measured in any form. Good morning to you. Good Wednesday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Pirates. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into football and or hockey, I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Penguins in the same place that you found this. Tigers 7, Pirates 3 in Detroit last night. A little bit of an offensive outburst early on, after which the Pirates had 19 of 20 batters retired, including the final 13. And if I were to invent one of those cleverly acronymed New Wave stats to describe how I feel about performances like that, it would be called booms, as in bored out of my skull. Because I can't think of anything that's more boring across the scope of sports than a baseball team that can't hit. Unless it's being, Stephen Strasburg's debut level dominated. In which case you can say, all right, well, there's some great pitching. There's something to watch. That's not what we see on a nightly basis. We see a team that just can't hit. We don't see players in slumps. We don't see players lacking clutch. We see a team that can't hit. If you ever hear anyone spouting that nonsense about how, if only they could bring those runners home when they're out there, if only they had a little bit more mojo to them or they were more motivated or something. No, they can't hit. That's it. And that's boring. And that doesn't just damage the current product. That, in the broader context of the way Bob Nutting does business, damages the product for years to come. And here's why. If you go to a ball game at PNC Park, there's a really, really, really good chance that you're going to leave there not remembering a single thing that occurred on the field that day. Now, if you're a diehard, if you're really knowledgeable, that's not some huge percentage of the population, you're always going to find something that interests you. But if you're everyone else at that stadium, you're going to be thinking, what did I just do here? What was this? And you get in the car and the kids are in the back seat. They're already talking about something else. Heck, they were probably talking about something else for the duration of the game. And you say, hey, kids, what do you think of that game? And the kids tell you how cool the pierogies are or how much they enjoyed that fun area behind center field or how funny that man was who was selling cotton candy or whatever. It's not going to be about baseball. It's not going to be about that great play or that moment where the whole crowd was standing up and cheering on somebody at the plate when there were runners at second and third and poked a single out and everybody goes, woo! That doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. The team can't hit. And you can say all you want, I guess even including to your kids, about how pitching is the name of the game. You can't. It's not the same thing. It's just not. You even look at how Paul Skeens' starts go in Pittsburgh anymore. And there's almost this palpable sense of foreboding tragedy when he pitches. Like, you're cheering, but you're kind of not cheering because you know they're going to lose anyway. Or you're cheering because he's really tremendous, but he's going to be pitching for the Dodgers. And the only thing that could fix that, even in the short term, the shortest of terms, is if they hit the ball. But they can't hit the ball. That's tough to watch. Now, I'm never going to be somebody who complains about the job. I have the dream job. I've covered all three of Pittsburgh's teams for the better part of my adult life. I've seen some amazing venues, some amazing cities. So I don't ever say that they're tough to cover. It's always more compelling, of course, to cover a winner, way more compelling material because they're going to be way more likely to tell you great things, colorful things. So when I say that it's tough to watch, I'm not referring to the job. I'm mostly talking about everybody else. Or if I see some of it and I'm not working, it's just you feel like finding something else to do. When we come back, J1Q. If you're looking for a great dining experience, look no further than North Shore Tavern. Located directly across Federal Street from PNC Park, next door to Mike's Beer Bar, North Shore Tavern is Pittsburgh's home for steak on a stone. Enjoy your steak finished on a hot lava stone in front of you, where you ensure each piece is cooked to exactly your liking. Or try their rotating selection of entrees, hot sandwiches, salads, and burgers, all while enjoying the ambiance dedicated to the great players and history of the Pittsburgh Pirates all around you. Come see why everyone's talking about North Shore Tavern and steak on a stone.
It's Gun Storage Check Week. Help prevent unwanted access to your firearms. No one wants their unsecured gun to be used in an accident, a suicide, or a crime. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to secure your firearms. Learn more at gunstoragecheck.org. That's gunstoragecheck.org. Brought to you by NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association.
Today's J1Q comes from Paul, and it's in response to yesterday's Daily Shot, in which I tried to dig into what might be wrong with Brian Reynolds offensively. Paul says, DK, Brian has consistently tried to do what the Pirates have asked him to do. Last year it was improve arm strength, and he tied for the National League lead in outfield assists. This offseason he bulked up. Did the team ask him to do that? Then they got rid of his training partner, Jason DeLay, who was also the best man at his wedding. The mental coach aspect could have some value in each of the seasons that Brian has struggled, much more so this season. With his wife being pregnant, does he need to talk through this with the mental coach? Well, Paul, first off, for anybody who wasn't aware of this, last night, Reynolds had to exit the game because his wife went into labor. So hopefully all of that turns out well for a zillion reasons that are a lot more important than anything baseball-based. Secondly, if Reynolds was, in any form, through all of this, distracted for reasons that we wouldn't know about, and to be honest with you, shouldn't know about, because they're personal, unless he chooses to share, then there's a lot that we wouldn't know, including about how he's fared on the field. I can tell you there are countless examples over the years, just in my own coverage of athletes with the Steelers, Penguins, or Pirates who've had a really tough time during family ordeals, including pregnancies, especially in difficult pregnancies. And I'm stressing here that I have no idea if, nor any interest in knowing if that's the case here, wishing nothing but the best for both Brian and Blair. But you know, humans are human, and Reynolds is a good human. He's one of those people who, and any of you who've been fortunate enough to meet him could attest to this. It takes you about 5 minutes to feel like you've known him for 5 years. Really open, welcoming, honest. So I'd rather not go that route any more than he would want anybody to be attempting to come up with what he would consider excuses. He's still stepping into the batter's box with all his equipment on, all his wits about him, and I'm sure he feels he should just be hitting the baseball a lot better than he's been. But let's see. Let's see how everything plays out, including his family's health, including his season. My choice, my perspective, speaking for nobody other than myself, is to believe in this young man, because I always have. I appreciate the question. I appreciate everybody listening to Daily Shot of Pirates. And we're going to do another one of these tomorrow.